What's up, y'all? It's Timmy, and today we're going to be reviewing the Varla Eagle One scooter, this powerful beast right behind me here, so let's get to it. Welcome to Truck House Lab, baby. So behind me here, we have the Varla Eagle One scooter. There she is. These things are sweet, and I'm gonna tell you why. As you guys know, if I'm doing a review for you guys, I wanna give you my honest opinion. I've owned one of these before, and they're pretty rad, pretty powerful, pretty fun. We'll go out for a little ride, just show you how it works, and I'll tell you my past experience with it, and just let you know what I think about it. So let's check it out. We're gonna go about 3 miles down the dirt road. I'm gonna take you guys to a little off-road trail and do some rallying, start mobbing this thing and just show you guys what it can handle. People buy hydraulic brakes for these things, but I don't think you need them. These cable brakes, they'll actually make the tires skid out, which means stopping the thing plenty fine enough. I'm totally fine with the cable brakes, just to let you know. This hill right here is really steep. Probably doesn't look like it because it's a GoPro. I'm gonna try to start on wet leaves with wet tires and see if I can even get a start on this hill. Show you how powerful this thing is. Oh. See if it'll do it. These are street tires too. Obviously, the Eagle One is no dirt bike. You can't like truly wheel with the thing, but you know what? For what it is and the conditions you can put it through for a little electric scooter, it gets the job done. It'll go a shocking amount of places that you wouldn't expect it to go. As far as things that could be probably improved, this needs a better screw system to hold the ignition in place. I've got it electric taped on right now. I think this makes a lot of noise, this plastic fender. So you could take that off, but you would get mud all over you if you did. So it'd be nice if that could be steel instead of plastic, so it wouldn't make noises. Other than that, it's pretty freaking solid. The one big thing about a scooter is it has a really tall, skinny stem. You can't put any weight on it or you'll snap the bars. So you really try to do your best to pretend like there's not any handlebars besides just steering. Your natural instinct when you're riding is to pull back in the handlebars when you're going up a steep hill, but you try not to do that. You just use these handlebars to steer. Don't put any forward or back weight on them. You put all your back weight on that little steel looking fender piece right there. It's kind of whenever you're going up a hill, just put your weight on that. If you're going down a hill, just lean back. Put all your weight in the deck, lean back, put your butt back, and you can rally. Are you sure you don't want to take the scooter? What? You want to take the scooter? Oh man.
Here he goes. Right, there goes that crazy thing. That's all I could see last night is the blinking lights when he hit the turbo, and it looked like it immediately accelerated to about 150 miles an hour. I'll pass it on the four-wheel. Watch it.
You want to try it while you're down here? I'll put it in the lowest one. I just put it in a rear wheel. We're at 74 years old, riding scooters. Check it out. Yeah, it's in the mellowest one.
Is this like a throw you over the handlebar kind of brake?
It's in the mellowest mode right now, so it shouldn't be crazy.
God, man, it accelerates.
Oh yeah, man, that's nothing right now. Oh man. See, there's my dad back here. He's riding a scooter. Now beware, he is a very athletic guy in his 70s, so I wouldn't advise it for every senior out there, but it's pretty doable. All ages. Maybe not tiny, you have to be big enough to reach the bars on it. Hopefully he's alive. We went around the corner. Oh, there he is.
I don't know how I do on these bumps.
Oh yeah. Hey, you want to see something? Hey, you should try it. Put it in a different mode. No, it's really funny. Actually, it's not funny, but he broke his hip maybe 6 or 7 months ago, so you're doing pretty good. A little bit of a risk taker, but... And this is I don't know if you guys could tell, but when he was following me on the four-wheeler, that's a really steep gravel hill I just came down, and the braking's totally fine. Yeah, so we're gonna get out and go for a little ride and just show you guys how it handles. And while we're out riding, I just want to share some of my experiences that I've had in the past. I've owned all kinds of scooters, gas scooters, electric scooters, bikes with motors on them, dirt bikes, one wheels, you name it. And yeah, we'll just talk about it a little bit here. Once he comes back, he's having too much fun, he might not come back. What's cool about these electric scooters is the range, man. You can go, like, you're definitely gonna make it 25 to 30 miles in this scooter. They advertise more, but as with anything, you always knock the gas mileage down, knock the range down, and you'll be fine. Wait, oh yeah.
Yeah, it is fun, man.
You should put it, you should feel dual mode. It's other button right there.
Well,
Or it's like, or to see the difference that makes. It's just it's more responsive throttle now, or you'll feel a difference. He's still in mode 1, but we put him a dual wheel and the turbo button, and it's powerful, man. It picks up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it'll fly up that mountain. You go 30 miles an hour up that hill.
I'll let you be the daredevil on that thing, man. God, that thing's nuts, man. There's enough torque to it that it'll go right up this mountain.
Oh yeah, no, it'll take off fast.
God, I couldn't even keep the camera up with it.
And the suspension, you saw how the suspension is.
Oh, the suspension's good. That's why you can get on it so easy and balance when you're an old fella, you know?
You're not supposed to ride a scooter one hand, but we're gonna try to ride it one hand just to give you guys some footage here to show you. And usually what I'll do, you can actually put your foot on this little back, that back fender looking thing, and that just helps you kind of balance walking in. And this hill I'm climbing right now, you guys probably can't even see it, but this is really steep. It's in two-wheel drive, and this is a steep gravel road, so let's see if I can keep it from spinning.
Well,
Oh yeah.
oh well. Yeah, the camera's not doing it justice for the steepness of it.
All right, y'all, let's go out for a little ride. I'm gonna take you guys up to the top of a mountain pass on some fast pavement and maybe 1,000-foot elevation gain. Let's go. This thing is fast. I owned an Apollo Pro scooter, which is essentially the exact same scooter as this, just from a different company, different name brand or whatever, but it's all manufactured in the same plant. And that thing rallied, and this Eagle One also rallies. Let's keep going to the top of the pass. One thing you're not really supposed to do in a scooter, and you can try it and find out why, is ride it with one hand. It's really difficult. The bar tries to twist really easy, but I'm gonna try to film just a little bit for you guys and talk. When you're riding rough dirt roads and gravel and cobblestones, it's definitely still chattery, but that full suspension takes a huge bunch of the shake out of it. It makes it really manageable to ride dirt roads such as this one. Now I got smooth, right when I'm talking about it. It's gonna look wobbly right now because I'm only riding with one hand, but it's pretty solid. When you have two hands in these bars, it tracks really well. On my Apollo Pro, I had knobby tires that I put onto it, and that definitely made it more stable for gravel roads such as this one. On speaking gravel roads such as this one, this entire route we're riding, it's about 1 mile long to the pavement up here. And I used to walk this every single day to the school bus. I grew up out here. This is like the North Georgia mountains. So here's the pavement. We're gonna get cruising up here, go up to the top of the pass. So right now we're climbing a really steep hill and I'm going 36 miles an hour, cruising pretty freaking good. Pretty awesome scooter. It's a really stable ride. It feels, I feel safe, you know? As long as you don't do anything too sudden or drastic, tweaky with the handlebars. So we're just gonna take you guys up to the top of the pass up here. But right now, keep in mind, we're actually climbing a mountain pass. Like, this is a steep hill. This is probably, I'd say, a 6% to 8% grade right now. And we're cruising, we're still going 32 miles an hour up a big mountain. Here we are at the top of the pass. Yeah, you can see the Appalachian Mountains out that way. This thing climbs, especially if you're on the pavement where these tires are getting traction, these street tires, you can mob. It's a fast machine, pretty sweet. The foot deck on this Varla Eagle One is pretty wide. I've got size 11 shoes basically, and you can see I've got plenty of room for both my feet on there. I usually put my back heel on that just to hold it still, but yeah. Plenty of room, plenty comfortable. Just got back from a ride. That was awesome. Normally I'd wear a helmet, but I do not have one down here, so try to be as careful as I could. Right off the bat, this is a dual motor scooter, so it's got a lot of power. Having a 1000 watt motor on each wheel makes a massive difference. The scooter does have a feature where you can click a button and you can choose to either use just one motor or both motors, and it makes a huge difference, makes it really fast, really powerful, and accelerates way faster than you ever think an electric scooter would. It's pretty crazy. One of the first things you'll notice about the Varla Eagle One is the suspension is awesome, really comfortable, absorbs a lot of shock, a lot of shudder, and yeah, it just takes a lot of fatigue out of driving. And what allows for all that suspension travel are the front and rear coils. Just makes it super padded, super smooth. I've owned several scooters in the past that don't have any suspension, not even front suspension, and it makes a huge difference as far as foot fatigue and being able to stay on it for a long time. The Eagle One has a battery built into the floorboard, and it's an absolute beast of a lithium-ion battery. There's different sizes you can get. This one is the 23 amp hour. Most of the rides I do will be anywhere from 7 to 15 miles, and I usually come back with at least 50% to 75% on the battery, and that's doing steep up hills and off-road stuff too, so they're pretty efficient, pretty awesome. The braking is pretty solid too. It has disc brakes on the front and the rear. This is the cable version. There is an option to get a hydraulic disc brake version, which is obviously going to be a little more powerful and respond a little bit better. That is an option, but I feel like these cable brakes are plenty sufficient enough for stopping. The Eagle One is a little over 80 pounds, so it is absolutely not the lightest scooter. If you're going to be walking up a whole bunch of steps to your apartment or whatever every day, this might not be the scooter you want, but if you're doing a whole bunch of miles and not going to be on pavement the whole time, this is the scooter you're going to want. It's not impossible to carry upstairs, just weighs a little bit, so keep that in mind. It's also pretty long, as you can see. It's about 3.5 to 4 feet long. Luckily, it'll fit in most car trunks, but be aware it's not the smallest scooter. The stem of the scooter does fold down, but the handlebars, you have to purchase an additional folding handlebar option if you want to be able to fold the handlebars the same width of the scooter to fit in narrow places, so keep that in mind. Folding the scooter up for transport, super easy. You have these two clamps right here, quick release clamps. You just open them up, slide the collar up like so, and it folds down. And usually you just pick up by the front right here and the back right there, and you can lift it, put it wherever you need to go. When you're ready to ride it again, fold your stem up, slide that collar down, and lock both your quick releases into place, and you are good to go, just like that. So really quick to set up for riding. And as I was saying before, there is an option to buy a handlebar that collapses on each side, that breaks in half and folds down with the stem. That way when you fold the handlebars down, they're not sticking out really wide, so you can fit it in a narrower spot. As far as the controls, you have your brake levers on each side for front and rear. You have a little bell, kind of funny. On the right side of the handlebar, you have your key, so you can throw a key in, ride it, and then when you're done riding, take your key with you. Just keeps people from stealing it, starting it, and taking off. As you guys notice, I have this key ignition kind of taped on with electrical tape right now. My old scooter did this too. There's a little set screw that you screw into the bottom, and it locks this key ignition module to the handlebar so it doesn't slide around. That little screw has been lost when this was mailed to me, so I do not have that. And my last one didn't hold too well, so that is probably the one thing about this scooter that they can improve, is just this ignition key module right here. It doesn't have a really great way to attach with that one screw. It just comes loose really easy, I noticed. Let's bring you through the control module really quick and just show you how you start this thing. To start the scooter, basically just throw your key in, click it on, and that'll fire up your battery. Once you turn your key on, the battery's on, come up to your power button right there, hold it down for 3 seconds, and it will fire up your computer. As you guys can see, this thing right there that says gear. You have 3 gears. The first is the slowest one. If you click the mode button, it'll go up to gear 2, which is a little faster. Click it again, it goes up to gear 3, which is really fast. You'll be going 40 miles an hour and accelerate super fast with that. So we'll keep it in mode 1 for right now. And that's essentially your computer. It's going to show you your kilometers or miles an hour, your battery life, all that good stuff. You can change from kilometers to miles per hour. All those settings are inside of that. So, and they have a guide online, so you can figure all that out. Coming over to the left side of the handlebar, you have your bell, obviously. Over here on the left side, you have this Eco Turbo button, this yellow one, and it essentially controls the power input to the electric motors that are in the front and rear wheel. Eco mode's all the way out. It's just kind of slower acceleration. If you press it to turbo, obviously turbo is probably faster, and it is in the scooter. Just be aware when you go from eco to turbo mode, when you press that button, the electric motors are going to be exponentially more powerful, exponentially faster acceleration, so watch out. The button over to the right that says single dual, this is your front and rear wheel. If you just want the rear wheel to power the scooter, which is the safest, you just put it in single mode, which is all the way out, and only the rear wheel of the scooter spins. If you put it in dual mode, both your wheels will spin, so that's really helpful off-road, or if you want to drive fast, or just be in more control. For traction especially, dual mode's pretty awesome. The only other thing I'd say they could improve in the scooter is the kickstand's kind of chintzy. Yeah, it's just a little bit weak, but it totally works, so it's a good feature. Overall, I feel like the Varla Eagle One scooter is built for people that want to go really fast in a scooter and want to be pretty comfortable, and also want to go a little bit off-road on gravel roads and that sort of thing. And on bumpier roads, it works great. So I'd recommend it for that stuff. Definitely recommend the Varla Eagle One over a scooter with no suspension and a single motor, especially for hill climbing, all that kind of stuff. If you live in like San Francisco, all those steep hills, the scooters are gonna get you up those hills. So I had an Apollo Pro scooter before this Varla Eagle One scooter. They're the exact same scooters, literally the same. You can look it up online. Just different companies. A couple of the upgrades I did to my Apollo Pro scooter were the folding handlebars, so I could fit the scooter more easily wherever I want to when it's folded down. I added off-road knobby tires that are wider, and that made a big difference off-road as far as traction, and it was a quieter ride too for some crazy reason. The off-road tires made a big difference in traction off-road. I just felt more comfortable and stable with them. Another kind of cool feature you can add on is a seat. So it's basically a seat post that comes down and clamps onto the deck, and super easy to remove, and it just gives you a place if you get a really long road trip you're trying to do or going a really long ways. It just gives you a way to kind of sit down and get your weight off your feet essentially. And obviously it's a more stable ride if you're sitting nice and low in the scooter as opposed to standing up. And the cool part is you can still stand up in the scooter while the seat's on. So that's a pretty cool add-on, but they're kind of expensive, but that's something to look at if you want to sit down. Overall quality of the build is pretty good. It's a lot better than some other stuff I've gotten from overseas that's made in China. There you have it, guys. There's my general thoughts on the Varla Eagle One and an overall review of the scooter and all the features on it. And I do hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments and I might be able to answer a couple of them for you. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to smash the like button down there and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of my content. I usually do adventure-related videos every single week, so I hope you join me for them, and we'll see you next time. Peace, y'all.